Hello everyone, Shinto Bean here, playing some more Warhammer combat cards. This week we have a pretty difficult exploration campaign with the Apocalypse modifier. I feel like the Apocalypse doesn't really mean a whole lot, because some of these Apocalypse campaigns are quite easy, and others like this one are a lot more challenging. Everything is set to max level, we're playing as Space Marines, and we are up against curated decks from 4 different factions: Chaos, Tyranids, Orcs, and Necrons. The warlords that we face, all come in the same order. So we'll take a look at that in a moment. You need 2 wins to earn each reward. And so it's like 16, it looks like it's 16 or 17 wins required to claim all of the rewards. The mission rewards is this ugly model. I really do not like Inceptors, they just look so dumb. And it's really not necessary either. If you want to earn this reward faster, you need the Dark Angels keyword, but I would strongly advise you not to use Dark Angels because most of them are pretty terrible. I went with a bunch of Dark Angels on my first match and promptly lost to the very first level, which was Abaddon. So yeah, I wouldn't do that. Traits are very important in this, and you will need some strong bodyguards because Lionel Johnson, the warlord who you have to use in this campaign, he's making his debut here. A 200-point warlord, but he actually has a really bad special rule. It's by far the worst one we've seen for any of these special 200-point warlords. So Martial Exemplar, the first part functions in the same way as the Mask's special rules. So while friendly cards are above 50% health, they attack first when defending. Now most of the time that's not really going to do very much, unless you're able to kill an enemy before it gets a chance to attack, which doesn't happen very often. For the second part, the first time your warlord will be attacked on the enemy turn, so while he's on the field, a random friendly card will get a free melee attack against the card that is about to hit your warlord. So that one can be useful. Obviously, you will want to run some strong melee bodyguards alongside Lionel Johnson while he's on the field in order to make the most of that. He does have shields and some pretty solid stats. I mean, 196 melee is pretty good. But yeah, the special rule overall is really not that great, so you'll have to make up for it by running your strongest bodyguards. I would advise using some strong defensive traits like shields and fear and Medicae. And you'll probably want some big game hunters because the enemy is running a lot of cards that are 40 or more points. I am also trying Furious Charge because it's quite strong at the max level. You could potentially knock out something before it gets a chance to attack. We've also got 1 target acquired in here in case there's a priority target that we really need to take down. I'm also trying out the new Librarian with Psionic Blast and Shields, which most people will probably not have, but you could run a different Psyker instead. But yeah, let's take a look at what we'll be facing in this campaign. So yeah, I've only played like 3 matches so far, so I can't really speak from personal experience, but other players have gotten through the entire exploration already. So just going off of their information here, we got the first 11 matches you'll be playing, and again, they do come in this order. So the first one is Abaddon, running a mix of some powerful bodyguards. He is running Vashtor, who's one of the strongest ones. It's got Big Game Hunter and Fear, a pretty nasty bodyguard that you have to watch out for. Number 2 is Mozrog, Scragbad, with a bunch of really big melee orcs, including the Stompa, which has Big Game Hunter, and Barrage. That one is quite strong as well. The third one, which I just played, was against the Parasite of Mortrex, with a bunch of melee units and some Deathblow. They also have the Hierophant, I believe, with Barrage and Poison. Number 4 is against Trazen, running a bunch of ranged and barrage units. Number 5 is the big Chaos Knight, so I think that's a 200-point warlord, or at least it's really big, and it buffs all of the bodyguards that are 40 more points, increasing their firepower. So it kind of goes in this pattern. You got 1 warlord from each faction, followed by the big Chaos Knight, and that repeats 3 times. So next up, there's Gosar with, looks like Gene Stealer Colts, and then the big Harridan, as well as the Hierophant. For 7, we've got Nurgle, led by Gloggerthrox, including 2 Great Unclean Ones, and the War Dog with Deathblow, I think. Then we got Imhotep with a bunch of big Necrons, Badruk with a bunch of ranged. Of course, that one's going to include stuff like the Gorkanaut and the Blastatank, probably. Maybe the Stomp as well. Then we got the Chaos Knight again with a ranged heavy composition, but also some strong melee units. Then we got the Swarm Lord with a bunch of big bugs. And then after this, I'm not really sure, but I think from hearsay, I think there might be Nemazor Zondrek and Ahriman, and then Gazgul Thraka. And then the final 3 warlords are against a big 200-point warlords, the Silent King, Scarbrand, and then finally the big Chaos Knight for a grand finale. So some pretty nasty stuff. One player who actually made it all the way to the end with only one loss was using this composition, so he's got Astaroth the Grim with Fear and Furious Charge, really strong card if you have it in your collection. He's got Belial as well, and then Mephiston also very strong with the powerful Psychic and Melee Attack and Death Blow. Then he's got 3 healers, 3 cards with Medicae, then the Death Blow Assault Marine, and then the Melee Scout. So pretty simple build, but apparently it works quite well. And those I've found on Discord. A good resource if you need help with the campaign. One other thing I did see some players running, if you do happen to have it in your collection, this little thing, the Ultramarines Astraeus, at max level this thing is insane. 229 ranged attack with Big Game Hunter and shields. The thing is extremely tanky, but imagine buffing this with like Belial, and then it could pretty much just one-shot anything that costs, well, pretty much anything will die in one shot to this, so that would definitely be a good option if you can just keep healing it. But sadly, I do not have it in my own collection. So let's see how we do here at level 6. I believe we'll be up against Gosar in this match, and we'll see how these bodyguards of mine perform. Alright, so we have the initiative. We'll be taking the first turn. He's running 9 bodyguards. And there he is at max level. Gosar, again, only has 217 health, so pretty weak. I think we will try dropping this old Psyker down and see how he does. Okay, they've got a healer on the field. Let's go with maybe Belial. Probably should not put him across from that guy, actually. We want to save his shields for something bigger. Okay, so yeah, they are indeed going with the Gene Stealer. Colts. Okay, well, I guess we'll just drop our Tech Marine as well. Drop our healer down early. Alright, well, they've got big dude there in the center. Just got healed to over 100 health. And Sonic Blast is going to be giving him some rage there. Plus 12 to the attack stats. So yeah, this Abominant, actually, we do kind of need to take that guy down sooner rather than later. So we're not quite able to kill the Acolyte with the Psychic attack here, but you can see we'll get the first attack in, and that will allow us to kill that one guy before he gets his attack in. So in that case, the special rule did actually make a difference. Plus 3 to attack stats at the end of every turn, so we do want to sort of kill these guys as quickly as possible. Getting hit by an outflank, though, from the Death Leaper. It's knocking out one shield. And yeah, really not ideal here. And I guess my Big Game Hunters wouldn't actually be doing anything on the field at the moment. So kind of a slow start to this match. I did actually record a few matches before this, but my phone kept glitching and just failing to record the video. Got another kill in there before the enemy gets to attack, but yeah, the Abominant is getting very big now, and this is starting to look rather dangerous. This thing has Death Blow, so it's going to be doing some serious damage when it dies. Getting hit by another outflank. And we're just slowly chipping away with the Psychic attacks, but I do want Belial on the field when the other big damage dealers deploy, so this is not the greatest. He still has 2 shields left. But yeah, the melee attacks just keep getting bigger and bigger. Almost enough to take down the Death Leaper there, but just not quite enough. We will be able to take it out with the Psionic Blast, though. So this actually should be pretty good right here. Boom. And yeah, take 2 of them down. And the game's lagging a little bit. I think my phone might be overheating. Okay, let's go with, yeah, we'll just do a Psychic attack. And that means the Death Blow is going to go off. So yeah, lots of damage there. Takes down the 2 guys on the flanks, as well as pierces through the final shield on Belial. Still got quite a few bodyguards to get through. Let's go with, we'll just drop Torgard on here, I think, and we'll see what comes out. Now, they should be running 2 of those really big bodyguards, the Harridan and the Hierophant, so question is, where are they going to deploy? Not in the right lane, it would seem. I think we'll go like this. We'll just drop Chaplain Morris over here. We still have a target acquired available, so I think the Harridan is probably the one that we want to take down. And there it is, yeah, over in the left lane. That thing has Fear. I mean, we could just try to ignore it, I suppose. But Old One Eye on the field as well. And it is their turn. So, yeah, this is going to be pretty painful here, I think. Once again, we get the first attack in, but yeah, again, in this case, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, lots of damage there. Belial is going to be going down the next turn. Yeah, we'll just go melee here. So Belial will go down, and that means the Hierophant will deploy over in the right lane. So it's going to be poisoning a bunch of stuff. And I think, you know what? Well, now this is a little tricky here. I think we're going to go like this. We're going to just take out Old One-Eye. We're going to ignore the big bugs, and then just go straight for the enemy Warlord. I think Gosar, he will not stand a chance against the Lion. So, yeah, the poison, they can do a lot of damage here. Are they going to go ranged? Could potentially poison. Yeah, they're going to be poisoning two things here. But yeah, with the attacks, we should hopefully be able to knock out. There we go. All right, perfect. So yeah, that was a little rough there, but I think we should be fine. So who's going to deploy first, Gosar or our Warlord? So yeah, we're going first. And at this point, I had to re-record the audio because the boss music was just way too loud that it drowned out my voice. But deploying the Warlord here, and we could have actually won with a melee attack straight up with Lionel Johnson. But I wanted to just show you what the second part of his special rule looks like. So I just let them attack, and you can see before the Hierophant's barrage attack hits Lionel Johnson, we get a free attack in from Tor Gerdon, dealing 172 damage to the Hierophant. If they had gone Psychic, then the attack would have been directed at Gosar instead. But yeah, here we can finally deploy Uriel Ventress, and then end the game with our charged up melee attack. And yeah, as you can see, Gosar, he just doesn't stand a chance. He's definitely one of the weaker Warlords, I think, you come up against in this campaign. So, kind of not the most exciting match ever, but just an example of the way you can get through these matches in the campaign. So if you're playing this campaign, best of luck to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, and hopefully someone can answer or give you the advice that you need. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.